The thing about the scientific revolution is that it started in the 1500s. And the reason why football works has to do with it. Man, I'm a basketball and soccer player, but look at this. Okay, so back in the 1500s, Copernicus comes. Everybody thought, most people, the Greeks had thought that the sun was that the Earth was the center of the solar system. Part of this goes back to Aristotle. Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates. Okay, it was Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Okay, those guys were serious people. Give me 1 second.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so they come around, and basically what happens is they are dominating Greece. Plato's academy is there. Socrates says, basically that an unexamined life is not worth, living. And I used to say that an unexamined idea is not worth believing. So Socrates influenced Plato, Plato influenced Aristotle. Okay. And then Aristotle taught Alexander the Great. So Alexander the Great was tutored by Aristotle. Think about that. That's crazy. So then this is around 300 BC down to 33 AD, right? The resurrection of Christ. After the resurrection of Christ, a lot of things happened in history. Of course, we talk about the Roman Empire, we talk about Constantine and all of that. But then there's this period, which some people call the Dark Ages, but it's actually not the Dark Ages. Okay, let's just call it the Middle Ages, from about 500 AD to 1500 AD. We get Oxford, we get Cambridge, we get some other universities like the University of Bologna. We have the Islamic civilization that happens in Arabia and so on and so forth. We'll get into that in our world history course. Okay, before I go on to the next one, remember where we are, 1500s, okay? 1500s. Let me get this ball. Perfect. We're going to transition to a basketball here in a second, okay? And we're going to talk about how that connects to things. But basically, the 1500s come around, and we get these people, people like Copernicus, and you look at the state of geopolitics, and you realize why Copernicus didn't publish his book until closer to 1550. However, his ideas were already alive in the 1520s. So in my STEM Excellence course, I call it 1524 to 2024, because I believe by 1524, the scientific revolution was already beginning to boil. What caused the scientific revolution? Let me get the basketball and we'll talk about that. So we get the printing press in the 1450s from Johannes Gutenberg. We get the Reformation in 1517 from Martin Luther. We get a lot of Bible translation work going on in Europe. So more people are learning that the earth is, there's more than just their own village, right? There's a bigger universe out there. There's a bigger world out there. So, and the Bible says the heavens declare the glory of God. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So if you read the Bible, you will realize that there should be order in the universe. There should be order. There should be design. And there is. Okay. I think those are some of the reasons for why the scientific revolution happened. Can you tell me why you think the scientific revolution happened? So, can you list 3 reasons why you think it happened? Before you list it, I want to make sure that you remember Nicholas Copernicus is where we're going to pick it up from. Perfect. Before I talk about Copernicus, let me just talk about basketball. There are 5 players on the court. You have the point guard, small forward, shooting guard, power forward, and the center. All 5 of them have a goal: get the ball in the basket. Copernicus comes to the scene. We can study his life in more detail, but the main thing to remember is that's where our science course starts in the history of physics. And what we want to do is we actually want to take you to Poland and Germany and England and all around to look at the places where these discoveries happened. He comes around and he says the sun is the center of the solar system and the planets revolve around the sun. This was revolutionary. Galileo Galilei carried this message further. We'll pick up from him in a second. Thank you so much.